Greetings, everyone. Great to be with you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for all that you do in the way of growing and maturing and being of service and reaching out and helping others to become more self-reliant. Today, we'll have a presentation entitled Rosicrucian Exercises, Foundation for Daily Living 5. The studies of the Rosicrucian Order AMORC systematically guide us in developing self-mastery and ways to be of service. Part of this process is the crucial practice of the Rosicrucian exercise. We will do some of these mystical and related exercises in an integrated manner, including meditation, visualization, metaphysical aid, and more. We'll do this series of exercises in an educational, enriching, and rejuvenating way for our experience of the Rosicrucian teachings as the foundation for our daily living. I want to share with you now some inspiring works of art that'll help draw us into the deeper realization of these exercises. You'll see now before you a beautiful work by the Rosicrucian artist Nicomedes Gómez. Translated from the Spanish, the title is The Age of Pisces, or the Messiah. It's a beautiful work that's 149 centimeters high by 117 centimeters high. It's interesting that the ratio formed by the height to the width is approximately 1.2735. In musical terms, this is very close to Pythagorean scale of the major third. That is in whole numbers 81 divided by 64, which is approximately 1.266. In this work, that is gouache and pen on panel board, we see a depiction of the earth, but also behind it, what appears to be St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. It's suggestive of a great temple in various traditions of the world. The spirituality that's back of them is a deep mystical core, rising up to the great dome structure. But we also see various indications of the planets, the stars, the cosmos. We see here the moon. We see here Saturn, for example, but also Jupiter and Venus and Mars, for example. At the centerpiece of the work, you notice there's the Master Yeshua, symbolic of our own inner divine nature, and that of the fully mature, fully developed human being, where mysticism means to be the full growing up, the full maturation, the direct experience with no intermediaries. We'll see surrounding the head of the Master, Yeshua, the 12 zodiacal signs, which complements this view of the macrocosm here, whereas we are the microcosm, and the earth itself, in a way, is a microcosm or a mesocosm between the microcosm and the macrocosm. So we see a wonderfully interlinked work from ourselves to the cosmos, from our inner nature, connected to the outer world and its vastness all around us. There's radiating beams of love and well-being. We'll apply these ideas and imagery when we do our own mystical exercises and meditation shortly. We see the giving and receiving with the Master Jesus' hands, both in benediction, but also a receiving of us in great love. We see two various symbols to do a sacred number and geometry. There's the interlaced triangles here. There's also triangles rising up here from the finite plane to the infinite plane. In a way, the human being is a perfect blend of the finite and the infinite planes for our full, mature expression. Related to this work that was done in 1965 is another complementary work by the same artist. And here it's entitled The Gestation of Aquarius. or you could say the coming forth of the age of Aquarius. So we're making this great passage from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age, this great evolvement of human consciousness that we're part of, and then our exercises aid in this development and process. Here, the same materials on board. Intriguingly, it has the same height of 149 centimeters, measured to be slightly different than width, though maybe intended to be the same at 117.5 centimeters. So again, in musical terms, very close to the Pythagorean scales, major third. And I emphasize this because traditionally in mysticism, music was not only of the auditory and instruments and the voice, but also of the visual and also the actions of the inner body, which is referred to as inner harmonium, but also the harmonious actions of the cosmos that are expressed in these esoteric series of paintings by the Rosicrucian Gómez. You see a similar structure here, as well as humanity is now taking on more greater responsibility. And the avatars of the past live us, inspire with us, and will make contact with when we ascend to the heights of celestial sanctum. But also now the greater and greater responsibility is us as mystical students to develop that inner Christ consciousness, that cosmic consciousness. And the return in an esoteric sense of the Master Yeshua, the Christ, will be in the raising of our own consciousness, the Christ consciousness of multiple humans across the temple of the earth. And that truly will be the rise of the Christ principle or the cosmic consciousness. You notice the great fiery developments here, the challenges and tribulations of our life, the evolvement of humanity, the transmutation process of the heat. Increasingly, humanity is evolving, becoming wiser. You see that in the countenances of the faces, but also in the subtle graduations of color here. You see a great cross here, but it's the Hermetic Rose Cross, which I'll give you a reference to from Past Imperator, Ralph M. Lewis's book, Behold the Sign. I'll mention some details of that. You'll see in it a variety of alchemical symbols. Indeed, there's a small rosy cross at the center that's behind this here, the symbol of F as the microcosm, and the whole cross, the larger cross surrounding that small central cross. It's the rose cross of the macrocosm. So there's again the mirroring of the microcosm and the macrocosm. We're going to work with the microcosm and macrocosm, known as profound philosophical principles for our intellects, but also for the first-hand experience. In mysticism and Rosicrucian teachings, we apply the law of the triangle continually. We apply the heightened understanding of the intellect, but I'll also get the emotions involved with beautiful art and the inner experience. And when they come into a perfect blend, and we come into that initiatory experience, we come into the illumination that inspired these works of art by the Rosicrucian student Gómez. You'll notice also some symbols around the ends of the rose, this beautiful rose cross. You'll see the three alchemical symbols of mercury, sulfur, and salt that have to do with various inspiring actions that take place within us. Also, you'll see that there also the rose cross is a symbol itself with a quintessence over the four alchemical elements: earth, air, fire, and water. They're depicted on this cross. Also, quite beautifully depicted on, implied on this art piece. And when you look at the Hermetic Rose Cross in the book I made reference to, you'll see quite intriguingly the letters I and R-I in close here. They're obscured by the works on top. Translated from Latin is the mystical and esoteric expression, nature is completely renewed by fire. You see through the challenges in our lives, we apply the law of transmutation, move from the lead to the gold, suggested by the flames here, the evolvement of humanity. There's much other symbols in this encyclopedic cross, which you may wish to consult. Bringing these two works together, though, you see the beautiful complementary nature of them, the great passage that we're undergoing as humanity in our consciousness, and that we'll take during our mystical exercise. One of the first exercises we'll do will also pertain to the hand gestures of the Master Yeshua here. Today, what we're going to do is that we're going to have a series of mystical exercises and meditation for after about a duration of about 1 hour. I will conclude the presentation without a period of comments or questions and answers or chat in order to allow the experience to further develop in silence within us. In other words, in mystical silence. So at this time, what I'll ask is Karen to post in the chat for you the resources if you wish them for this presentation, and also to upload a PDF document with the resources. I think the latter PDF document you'll find easiest to access the resources and when you download it. So I'll give you a moment to that and we'll begin momentarily. You'll see before you now the Grand Temple of the Rosicrucian Order, AMORC, in Rosicrucian Park, San Jose, California. In a way, you may wish to picture yourself doing some of the exercises we're about to do at the Grand Temple. Indeed, our body is a holy temple within a sacred edifice at times. We do our Rosicrucian convocations, but also we're on the temple of the earth, and we're surrounded by the temple of the cosmos, the temple of the divine. Now, within this inspiring temple, there's many lessons about life and the Rosicrucian teachings. You'll have an interior view here. I know many of you have had a chance to visit this wondrous temple and been inspired by it, have a more deeper concept of the temple. It is a model of the cosmos, as a microcosm, or if you prefer, as a mesocosm. You have a vault of the heavens above, for example, the east and the west, and the south and the north, patterning the four cardinal directions, but also the center, where is the Shekinah, the presence of God in our midst. You'll note along the walls, there's some beautiful murals, and I want to take you to one of them right now. You'll see it here now. And for it, you note that it's a mural, and it has the name of the laying on of the hands. It's near the mattress station in the west wall. And it was an inspired work of love by the Rosicrucian artist Diana Beauvais-Sallier, former staff artist of the Los Angeles County Museum. She worked with some other persons in laying out these beautiful murals in the Grand Temple, a wonderful work of service. Now, we're going to do something associated with the laying on of the hands with one of our first exercises. And when you look at this, it's designed after a description of how the divine essence of the gods, ancient Egypt, this divine essence known as Sa, capital S, lowercase a, was said to be imparted by the high priest to those who knelt before them. This same form of laying on the hands was used in conferring queenship and kingship, being the pharaoh or the sovereign. This mural was therefore taken indirectly from an Egyptian stele, describing, and I quote, Queen Hatshepsut's receiving from her father the sovereignship of both banks of the river. There's a special energy that emanates from the hands that we learn in our weekly lessons of the Rosicrucians. Indeed, these exercises we're doing today and the various other presentations, department instruction, they're meant as an augment, a supplement, and a complement to our weekly lessons that go into even more depth and become a way of life doing the Rosicrucian exercises. And then we can apply them in service in our career, in our family life, in a variety of ways. So to get ready for that, I'll show you the way we're going to position our hands for several minutes for the experiment on the right and the experiment on the left. This diagram of the hands was actually originally from a promotional booklet of the Rosicrucians. It was quite inspiring to me early on, my studentship as a Rosicrucian in this incarnation. So we wonder, well, how is the Pharaoh and how do those healers down through the ages, to the Master Yeshua, how did they channel the forces of healing from one person to another? The Rosicrucians call this contact healing. We'll do part of that, give a sense of how the hands and the body is charged. The full description of these lessons in the contact healing are given at a certain stage in the Rosicrucian teachings for the full picture on this. Also, when we ascend to the heights of the celestial sanctum in a little while, we'll also have an opportunity to do what's called metaphysical aid or absent healing, these two complementary forms of healing. So at this time, I invite you to listen to the instructions for you and get ready to use your hands and your fingers. What I'd like you to do is to place your 5 fingers of both hands together in such a way that they point away from the body, so pointing outward from the body. And be sure that the palms of the hands are separated by about 1.5 inches. And you'll see this in illustration number 1. So the tips of the fingers are pointing out away from the body. But do not press the tips of the fingers too strongly, just firmly. And holding this way for 3 minutes, I think you'll notice something quite remarkable will start to happen, which I'll talk a little bit more about. So again, let's assume the hand position as shown in illustration number 1. And we can view this as a very meditative, contemplative exercise over the next several minutes. We can just slow up and feel the increased sensitivity of the holy temple that is our body, and particularly the vital life force energy, force of the life, and the nervous system's energy, electromagnetic energy, and various other flows in our body. We'll have a period of silence now together as we feel the increasing effect of this simple, not to be underestimated exercise. You may notice a very pronounced tingling in your fingers, between the tips, but also increasingly throughout your body. So whatever happens, just be attentive to it. And let the experience build. You may notice that heat is being generated in the open space between the palms. This is you're recognizing your body heat. Now I invite you to take a long breath and hold the air in. So take a long, deep breath and hold the air in your lungs now. And hold it as long as you comfortably can and then exhale. And I think you'll find in this process, there's heat increasing between the palms so that the flesh of the palms even begin to tingle in an intensified way. Just observe, feel the soothing nature of this exercise, its healing or making whole effect. Now we'll do the second exercise. It's illustrated on the right, illustration number 2. What I invite you to do now is to take the thumb of the right hand firmly in the grip of the thumb and the first 2 fingers of the left hand, as illustrated in diagram number 2. Have the other fingers of the right hand extended so they do not touch the left hand. Do not squeeze the thumb. Keep the grip for 3 minutes. Enjoy this exercise as one applying the law of concentration. And just let go and be receptive to the experience. I invite you now to take one long breath and hold it while you feel not just the ordinary body warmth, but the positive energy generated in the right thumb, passing to the left thumb and going up the left arm. Hold the inhalation as long as comfortable. This is a very beautiful experience. It gives us this whole new sense of what it is to be a human being and the holy temple of the body, its wisdom and its brilliance. This kind of energy passing from our bodies hourly. We can increase it, as these experiences have proved. And it can also be used in healing ourselves, contact healing within certain subscribed ways within our family. Soon we'll also participate in another form of healing, a metaphysical aid. We can send to all in need. At this time, looking again upon inspired work pertaining to the passage of human consciousness into the age of Aquarius. I invite you now to close your eyes, and we'll continue our series of Rosicrucian exercises. Feeling the increased flow of the vital life force in our body from our spiritual operations with our hands. Just turn inward and feel that circulating life force, the tingling effect, tonic and enriching. I invite you now to concentrate on your inhalation and your exhalation. The Rosicrucians refer to as neutral breathing, either holding the inhalation or holding the exhalation. Just enjoy the gentle rhythm of the breath. I invite you to extend your exhalation longer than your inhalation. With that extended exhalation, we'll automatically experience the relaxation response. The stimulation of the great vagus nerve that works with the autonomic nervous system. It'll help us this day come into increasing autonomic balance. That is a dynamic balance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems that we learn a great deal about and have weekly lessons that pertain to in our Rosicrucian studies. And you may wish to breathe a little deeper than usual throughout these mystical exercises or for part of them with the extended exhalation. Just feel the building application of the law of cause and effect. The cumulative effect of relaxation, becoming calmer and calmer with each extended breath. And let us spiritualize it as peace profound, the most profound form of peace that the Rosicrucians speak about. Part of the mastery of life, the great living in harmony, involves the mastery of the breath. It's one of the spiritual operations, the holy temple of the body. And with each incoming breath, you may wish to sense and picture increasing presence of the divine within, the master within, the inner self, our true guide in nature. As simple as this exercise is, let it deepen. Feel how it applies the law of regeneration, heating up of our being through the law of transmutation. Use the incoming and the outgoing of the breath as an anchor for our outer intention, the outer self. Just continue to let go. Let be. And surrender to the increasing presence and identification with the divine within, the master within. Not only as intellectual concepts, but as an enriching, ennobling emotional experience. And when we bring those two poles together, we have the gnosis, the deeper truth, great knowing. A degree of illumination comes forward. As a lived experience, often astonishing to our outer nature, but deeply familiar to our inner nature, which was there all along, urging and guiding us. There to heal us if we're but receptive, as we are now. We need to make this turning inward a way of life. And in this manner, we live more in rapport with the divine within, in cosmic attunement. Outer nature becomes a co-worker, a co-agent with the master within and the cosmic. By the cosmic, the Rosicrucians mean the universal intelligence back of the cosmos and all natural and spiritual laws taught through the weekly lessons for the Rosicrucian studies. Just enjoy the great enrichment of this exercise. The wonder and awe of fully growing up as a human being. The great presence of the divine within. Continue our mystical exercises and meditation period now. We increasingly charged ourselves with the life force. It's flowing there always. But as we become more sensitive, these special concentration exercises become much more aware of it. And we charge it much more. Become much more fully alive. Become much more ourselves and let go more of who we are not. And that releases tremendous energy from deep within us and throughout our holy temple of the body. Let us work with the holy temple of the body and the master within now by doing a special exercise that the Rosicrucians referred to by some as the overall exercise. Let us circle through the holy temple of the body 3 times. I'll guide you, particularly the first time. I invite you to put all of your concentration on the tips of your toes. You can do this lying down or seated. It's good to have your spine upright so you can breathe in an unencumbered way, or at least straight if you're lying down. Put all your concentration on the tips of your toes, and I invite you to picture there a white light or some other light that's conducive to your need for healing at this time or the great work you're undertaking. And you feel again that enriching tingling of the vital life force as we did with our exercise with the hands. And we're feeling it all the more now because we did that exercise with the hands. We're all the more able to heal ourselves and direct this healing energy to others under special circumstances described to us in our Rosicrucian teachings for our family. And move through your toes gradually, putting all your concentration there. So that was the entirety of creation. Indeed, the macrocosm mirrors the microcosm mirror each other. So we're working with both now. We'll move through the cosmic and the cosmos, as well as the holy temple of your body in this exercise. It's much more than it appears. As we increasingly grow and mature, we see deeper and deeper into these lessons. Tremendous heartfelt thanks to the Rosicrucians for revealing them to us. Move up into the main part of your foot. Feel the white light transforming you, enriching you, becoming more. As the traditional Rosicrucian and Master Jacob Boehme said, we are beings of light. Here we have an opportunity to experience it firsthand. I invite you to let go whether these things, you think these things are possible or not. Let's just do them. Afterwards, we'll analyze more fully. Just continue to move up through your arch of your foot, top of your foot, the ankles, your heel, sinew, the blood, the RNA, the DNA, the molecules, the electrons, the protons, the neutrons, the atoms, all getting intensely charged as we move up now to our lower legs. Let us think too of the subcellular structure in our cells, particularly the mitochondria, provides 90% of the energy to the holy temple. As we relax with these exercises and charge all our cells in our body, we'll feel reborn, rejuvenated. A much deeper sense of what it is to be a human being. Fully attuned with the divine. Let's move gradually up our lower legs to our knees, back and front, the wondrous joint here as we move through the holy temple. Cartilage, the meniscus, the blood, the electromagnetic energy, the nervous system, the tremendous system and order and symmetry, the human body. Gradually move up into our upper legs, the thighs. Picture the great white light entirely focused on this part of the body, as if it was the entirety of creation. In a way, it's mirroring the entirety of creation. Not only as a thought now, but as an experience. Move gradually up through the microcosm, the macrocosm in this fashion, to our upper legs, our mid-body, and feel wherever we're pressing on the bed or this chair, however we're situated. And up into the midsection and the vital organs, the solar plexus, the great nexus of nerves. Concentrate and charge there with the colored light. Enjoying the experience, be enriched by the experience, wanting to do this experience daily. It's time well spent. We're transmuting the lead into the gold as a process of alchemy at the heart of mysticism. Fundamentally, the mastery of life is in the doing. The Rosicrucians do and demonstrate. Come up through the midsection of the body. The great work of all those vital organs there. The digestive tract, the bowel system, the kidney, the spleen. Experience the harmony, the music of the body. So we move gradually up through the rib cage and the great axis, the spine of our body, mirroring the cosmic axis of the universe. Feel the tremendous energy of the action of the various systems, the circulatory system of the blood, the respiratory system with the air and the vital life force, the nervous system with the wondrous electromagnetic energy, the VLF, back of it. So we move up into our heart center. Experience each of these centers also in their material form, but also in their psychic form. With various exercises in the Rosicrucian Order, which we're doing some now. And take some time in concentrating on the heart, the great seat of emotions. Great place, joy and upliftment and transformation and maturation. Not only as a concept, but experiencing our maturation taking place now, in real time, is the computer age term. The great pumping action with the charged blood moving throughout the body and returning. All systems working in harmony now, like a one great symphony orchestra. All the instruments well tuned. Mirroring in higher and higher octaves, cosmic keyboards to action. The great sea of vibrations, which is the entirety of existence. Let us move up now above the heart, the thymus. Spend some time there. Back and front of the chest, the spine, ganglia, nervous system, all being charged by the light that you're picturing with all your consciousness there. So we gradually move up to our shoulders. Once we reach our shoulders, we focalize your attention on the tips of your fingers, and we'll move through our arms just like we move through our legs. Feel that wondrous tingling. Your fingernails, your fingertips, sinew and the joints, mitochondria staying within the cells, not exiting due to stress. Feeling the energy of the mitochondria working so efficiently now. The vital life force recharging us. We move through our fingers, our knuckles, our joints of the hand, the back and front of the hand and the palm, the thumb, the wrist, flowing of the blood, the pumping action there of the veins. We move up into our arms, thankful for the holy temple and the mobility. The capacity allows us to be co-creators with the cosmic on the earth plane. To our elbows, and we'll move through them just like we move through our knees, the joint, the sinew, into the upper arm and the bicep, increasing the tingling of the vital life force, transmutation, spiritualization of the holy temple. We gradually move up to our armpits, top of our arms, back to the shoulders where we left off. Gradually move into the back, our necks, the great nexus of nerves there at the nape of the neck, and move up through the neck, back and front, the thyroid gland, the throat, the tongue, the mouth, the lower jaw, the lips, the teeth, the upper jaw, upper teeth, the upper lips. Move back into the head, back of the head, lower part of the brain area. So we move up now, our nostrils. Feel the air coming in and out, the fresh air coming in, the waste products of the air going out. All of use in the harmony of nature. Gradually up through the nose to the place of the eyes, the eyebrows, eyelids, the place of the third eye between the eyebrows, and move from the third eye back into the brain area, the back of the head, the pituitary gland. It's great work in helping regulate in the body and dampen down vibrations, higher and higher octaves of the cosmic keyboard. Feel the brain being charged, the sadness center being uplifted, the prefrontal cortex being charged, increased capacity to assess and reason, capacity for joy being activated in the brain. And then move towards the pineal gland, the brain, the great master center and endocrine gland and psychic center, dampening down highest rates of vibration of existence in the cosmic keyboard. Vibrations passing from one octave to the other, being channeled down in through the pineal gland to close impressions. So we concentrate on the pineal gland, we intensify its action, bring it back closer to where it was when we were children. If we have not been fully using it. We use it as a great bridge between the visible and the invisible. Spoken of by the traditional Rosicrucian philosopher René Descartes. Now let us rise up into our upper part of our brain, our forehead, our scalp, our hair. Feel our whole body tingling with the life force. And let us go through the holy temple of body 2 more times. And I'll let you go through on your own. And we'll go through at a little quicker pace because we'll feel the same effects in a much more efficient way now. Starting with the toes and moving up through our bodies. Enjoying the exhilaration of the ascent through the holy temple. When you've gone through your body for a second time, return to the tips of the toes and go through one more time for a threefold intensification. And enjoy the enrichment, the ennoblement, the experience of being more fully ourselves. When you pass through your body that for the 3rd time, increasingly experience yourselves as a being of light, we'll continue our meditation and mystical exercises. By ascending to the heights of the celestial sanctum described in the Key Rosicrucian booklet, Liber 777. We'll rise up into the cosmic just like we saw, the great rising up in the paintings by the traditional Rosicrucian Gómez. Will assist in the raising of the consciousness of humanity into the Aquarian age. To do this, let us undertake a further application of the law of purification, following invocation and prayer. May the divine essence of the cosmic infuse my being and cleanse me of all impurities of mind and body, that I may enter the celestial sanctum and in tune, in pureness and in worthiness. So mote it be. Now let us picture ourselves rising up from wherever we're situated, our home or dwelling. Rising up over our neighborhood, our geographic area, our town or city, even our county as we go faster and faster, using great inner spiritual force of the divine within, using our full psychic capacity and imaginative faculty to rise higher and higher, enjoying the exhilaration just as we felt the exhilaration of going through the microcosm, the holy temple, and the overall exercise. Let's continue to rise up beyond our province or state, even now up beyond, we go faster and faster, our great nation or country, Let us see now our continent and even the hemisphere of the earth where we dwell. And even now, the entirety of the earth, the beautiful blue jewel, rotating about its axis. Let us pass up into the solar system, past the planets and the great fiery ball of the sun, out into the vastness of space, beyond the stars and the nebula, quasars and the pulsars and the black hole balancing the universe. Let us continue to rise faster and faster, way beyond the speed of light as we transcend space and time and apply the law of correspondence as we rise higher and higher. We go deeper and deeper into the sacred chamber within us, the prairie presence, the divine within, but also sense the divine within imbued throughout the cosmos, helping express the cosmic or the universal intelligence back of the microcosm and the macrocosm. Keep rising higher and higher past galaxies and nebula. Enjoying the great harmony of the spheres, the great music of the cosmos. The wondrous sea of vibrations, which is the model for all art back on earth, all creation back on earth. I think it's soon you'll sense that the universe itself is revolving about a great cosmic axis, mirroring the spine of the holy temple. Sense the stupendous action and motion of the entire cosmos revolving about an axis. When you sense that, slow up at the midpoint of that great cosmic axis and dwell there a while, taking in the stupendous view and great harmony. A sense of awe of being in the divine temple. Mirroring all other temples, for which it is the model, an exemplar, a similitude. And at the center of your being, at the center of the cosmos, I invite you now to picture your personal celestial sanctum, be it an inspiring temple on earth, inspiring place in nature. Fill in the sights and sounds as an act of visualization that will build up in the mind. Use great inner joy and wonderment and emotion and psychic impressions and spirit draw past memories of spiritual experiences to make your celestial sanctum charged with meaning, the life force, the highest rates of vibration, the cosmic keyboard, the very presence of the consciousness of the cosmic. It's these experiences that the student, Nicomedes Gómez, used to emulate in his esoteric series of paintings. And we can take these experiences, emulate them in our own life, our own work, our contact with others, whatever form that takes, in our careers, in our duties. Once you've filled in the sights and sounds of your celestial sanctum, picturing there other seekers with us, the officers of our Order, Grand Lodge, and Supreme Grand Lodge, the visible and invisible masters, all may be conducting and be part of a great convocation ritual. When you're ready, just release your visualization, saying, if it pleases the cosmic, it is done, into the subconscious mind, and then into the cosmic mind. And let us dwell then the heights of the celestial sanctum, this high point of consciousness. And let us surrender and feel all there is to feel. Be all there is to be. know all there is to know. Feel the pulsating love to all beings within us. Let's apply the law of silence and law of cosmic attunement now. So let's take another spiritual operation and Rosicrucian exercise, the sending of metaphysical aid. Just like we saw those great rays descending from the central rose cross, the Hermetic rose cross, engulfing like a great cosmic egg onto the temple of the earth. Let us radiate love and well-being to all those who petition Grand Lodge, the Rosicrucian Order AMORC, for guidance and healing. Let us radiate love and well-being to all those petitioned our affiliate bodies for guidance and healing. Let us radiate love and well-being to all those we know who are in need of guidance and healing. And finally, let us radiate love and well-being to all sentient beings throughout the cosmos, enveloping them just like those great rays in the Gómez painting. Feel the love and well-being radiating out like a great floodlight or a great flow of life-giving water, moving out at a tremendous rate, filling the cosmos, reaching all in need, applying the law of service. Now, I think you'll find at a certain point, the radiations of love and well-being will continue without any conscious effort through the actions of the divine within our true nature that we're fully identified with now. And when that happens, just surrender. Feel all there is to feel at one with the one. Soon we'll formally conclude this period of sending of physical aid. We'll continue our meditation a while longer. We'll be assured that the radiations of love and well-being continue as part of our mission in life, part of what it is to be fully a human being in mystical union. Formally conclude our work as a silent council in conjunction with the Council of Souls, ascending metaphysical aid by saying together, if it pleases the cosmic, it is done, so mote it be. As we continue our period of meditation a while longer, we may wish to invoke the law of gratitude for this opportunity to be of service, for this opportunity to understand the Rosicrucian laws and principles for the full maturation, uniting in mystical union, the divine within, becoming one with it, being fully it, entering into the cosmic consciousness state, living it out always, its expressions through the holy temple, through self-consciousness and more. Before we begin our ascent from the heights of celestial sanctum, you may wish to extend your gratitude to all those who have taught you well, to all those who have loved you well, to all those who sacrificed well on your behalf. Let us now begin our descent, moving at tremendous speed, way beyond the speed of light. We pass by the clusters of galaxies, the nebulae, the myriad stellar phenomena, the quasars and the pulsars, binary stars, black holes balancing the universe. See in the distance the galaxies surrounding the Milky Way galaxy, and ultimately the Milky Way galaxy, and plunge back into it, past the myriad stars and nebula, and see in the distance the great fiery ball of our local star, the sun, feeling its wondrous beauty, tremendous energy, likened unto the invisible sun within us that we just light and radiate love and well-being to all. And remembering that invisible sun, let's continue to send a beautiful blue jewel of the earth. The hemisphere where we left off, the continent, our great nation or country, province or state, our county, our local geographic area, town or city, our neighborhood. When we come back to our building where we left off, I invite you to say with me, may the God of my heart sanctify this attunement of self with the celestial sanctum. So mote it be. Let us come back into the room where we left off. Feel the presence of the holy temple, be charged, rejuvenated. Feel re-energized, remade, reintegrated. In the great wonder of the work and worship of the Rosicrucian Order, AMORC now, and a great progression from the lead to spiritual gold. When you're ready, you may wish to open your eyes or continue your meditation. Stretch. This time I'll ask Karen to paste one more time for you the presentation resources as a PDF document. And we'll continue to apply the law of silence as I make a few concluding remarks. As we continue in our cosmic attunement now and always. That the Rosicrucian studies of the Rosicrucian Order AMORC systematically guide us in developing self-mastery and ways to be of service. Part of this process is the crucial practice of the Rosicrucian exercises that we've just performed and are continue to experience. We've done some of these mystical and related exercises in an integrated manner, including meditation, visualization, metaphysical aid, and more. We've done this series of exercises in an educational, enriching, and rejuvenating way for our experience of the Rosicrucian teachings as the foundation for our daily life and our full experience of existence in mystical union at one with the One, now and always. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for all your love. Thank you for your intensity for learning. Thank you for the radiant presence that we all feel now.